Backlash, our podcast. It's only three of us today. Chris is not with us.
Un, deux, trois.
So myself, Ratty, and Tom are in the house. How you been then, guys?
Yeah, not bad. Not
Very
bad.
good.
It's cold today again, and it's freezing.
It's probably windy. I was just watching the Liverpool.
Nice summer soon be here.
I was watching the Liverpool game now, and it was so windy at Anfield. Salah's running to the ball, which is like scurrying away from him.
Yeah.
And next to this huge gust of wind literally stops the ball and spins it back towards him.
Well, did you see
that fucking windy?
Well, that happened in the Cardiff City game yesterday. Did you watch it?
No, I missed it.
There was a 1-1, and the ball basically, it looked like someone had overplayed the ball.
Yeah.
But Niaz, the Cardiff City striker, he managed, where the wind slowed the ball down,
Yeah.
he managed to slow it down, and almost it confused the defender, goalkeeper, Ben Niaz, but he missed. But yeah,
Mother Nature
the weather was
being a
absolutely
bitch.
terrible.
Anyway, so topics today. Leaving Neverland. Now, Shimon. So obviously when was this out?
It's on the 6th and 7th of March.
So this month is brand new. I've not watched it yet. You two have watched it. I've
Yeah.
not seen it. But obviously through Facebook and Twitter and every fucker else is talking about it. And it's up in the air. Did he, didn't he? So the documentary is about Michael Jackson and his apparent paedophilia, particularly with these two boys back in the day. You got any info on that?
I've got all the info.
Let's go, Tom.
Right.
Dig in. So if you've not watched this documentary, and I haven't watched it
where
yet.
have you been? First of all, it's been literally everywhere. Go on, James. Where have you been?
Work.
Yeah, work, okay.
Right.
Fair point. So basically, the documentary, which was made by Dan Reed, it's about a Wade Robson. Now, I remember Wade Robson because he was a choreographer, wasn't he? For NSYNC, Britney Spears, people like that. I remember the name, and he had a TV program. It was called the Wade Robson Project.
Solid pop knowledge there, Tom.
Yeah. I just remember the name at the time. I said, Claire, he's been on something. So you quickly go on Wikipedia and you find him. And James Safechuck, interesting name, Safechuck. But basically, they claim that Michael Jackson groomed him. He was 78, wasn't he? 78, 88, wasn't there, Steve? Wasn't
Well,
there?
98, that's when he met Wade.
Wade Robson.
Wade
So
Robson.
1988, apparently, this happened.
And the same with
the other boy, wasn't
guy.
there? James.
All right, okay.
So basically, in short...
Because Wade Robson, now he's an Australian. And he won a dance competition. Because doing Michael Jackson dance. And with that, the winning was to meet Michael Jackson and go on stage. And with a bunch of other kids sing I'm Bad, ironically. Yeah. But he took a shine to him.
Yeah.
And with the other guy, he won a competition to do a Pepsi advert where he's in Michael Jackson's dressing room. And of course Michael Jackson appears and he's like, lights up, open mouth. Hey. Just getting ready.
Right, so basically, there's this around the same time then, these two guys,
I think they were about the same time,
these
weren't
two
they?
boys come into contact with Michael Jackson.
But which one was... So, Michael Jackson said to the Wade Robson family, didn't they? They said, if you're ever in America, look us up, didn't they?
Yes.
So they went to America, and they did. Fair play to the mum. She was determined, though. Imagine trying to get hold of Michael Jackson.
She comes across as like one of your pushy mothers.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And like she wanted the fame and glory type of
It
thing.
struck me like that, actually, Steve. I've got to say, I was come out of it thinking... Because she actually said, it was like another world. We had first class... We were flying first class all around the world. We were staying in the best hotels, eating in the best restaurants, wasn't she? So she really absorbed
enjoyed
that,
it.
and yeah, she did. But weirdly, imagine we know
and
how.
she chose a marriage over this as well.
Yeah, she did. Yes.
All right, so let's go to the beginning, Ed. So these two boys
Both win
are now
competitions.
obviously both grown men.
Yeah.
This is the first time they're speaking out about what happened to them.
Well, no, it's not the first time. That Wade Robson, he came out in 2013.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
And spoke about it, did he?
Oh, that was on American show.
Right, so he did then in 2013.
Yeah.
But it's James
And now
Safechuck.
again, 10 years after the fact. So what happened? Actually, let's go back. So do you know what happened then in 2013? What happened? Did it go? Because obviously 2009 was after the fact.
It was on the news and all that. Because he he sort of like went on like daytime television and came out of it.
And nothing was said or done.
Well,
really. The usual questions.
Yeah.
Because like this is. I was talking to one of our friends about this, and he made a good point. Mr. Plum was this has been in the public sphere. This has been in the public consciousness for a while.
Yeah, and he knows.
Was Michael Jackson a paedophile? Wasn't he a paedophile? Did he? Didn't he? Didn't he? Didn't he? So what's really changed with this documentary? Why is this documentary such?
I think it's
so different.
Got in more depth.
Yeah. So it was quite graphic.
So there's no. So would you say there's no
hold bars in the contents?
It's a sort of reveal all, expose.
You know.
Like they were very graphic while he did and how he did it.
Is that a good idea when you're trying to get the truth across? Because what I would say is this.
It says it probably makes you want to think, what a disgusting fucker. You know? But at the same time, you think, did he really?
Yeah, it's
because
so
that's
difficult.
the thing. Like if you're doing a document, if you're trying to get a case across, right? So you're accused of beating somebody or beating your spouse or whatever, right? And then her side of things is he done this, and then he shoved my face into a brick wall, and then he cut me, and then he done this, and it's like fine.
Yeah.
Where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence? This is
so
the problem.
it's the emotional play.
He was never violent to him.
No. What I'm saying is sometimes the details of an account override the facts and the evidence.
But according to the boys when they speak about it, it wasn't. There was pressure, but it wasn't forceful pressure.
Yeah,
they could have if they said no. Apparently, Michael Jackson would go all right and jerk himself to someone else.
So let's skip to your thoughts, and then we can go back, and then you can unpick it and tell me why you think whatever. So let's start with you then, Rat. You're a big fan. We should preface this now. Huge fan of Michael Jackson.
As you can tell.
So this is
Michael Jackson.
No, back in the day.
So he was Metallica and Michael Jackson for Ratty.
Yeah.
So
that was my life in music. Was Michael Jackson posters on the wall? Try to dance like him.
So
I was happy he was becoming white, and then I could start looking like him.
So you were a big fan of his.
Yes.
You've obviously heard stuff before this documentary.
Yeah.
And you probably, I don't know whether you're in two minds or what.
It's like with the first case with the Jordan Chandler. With his case came out, I thought, no, it's money, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta be for money.
And the problem is...
Because it was done on the settlement.
So you thought this the whole time, and then watching this one now, how do you feel now?
It could be plausible. That's the weird thing about
plausible
it.
that he did.
Could be, it could be plausible that he could.
Is it definitive, though? Is it like...
But you're either destroying a legacy, or
you're bringing out a hard truth.
Or these people are just... They're making more worse themselves and their families as well. Because you think they're coming out with this, being sexually abused. They both got kids and wives. And if they're lying...
But you can't prove either way.
No,
that's the way
you can't prove he's dead. He can't defend himself. But he would have had good lawyers anyway. But
so you're still torn?
Yeah. But in a sad sense, I still like him.
It is difficult because there's such a big part of your life this whole time for decades and decades. Michael Jackson's been around, and you have this connection with the music, which is pure and honest and truthful to you. Because I love bands and albums mean so much to me. The music, the words, it all means a lot to you, doesn't it? But to find out then the creator of it is a monster in the worst way.
Yeah,
like that's a head fuck. So you're torn, aren't you?
Yeah, no,
but because...
And like we all know, he was a bit eccentric anyway.
Yeah.
He's either a very genuine...
So Tom then, right?
Go on.
Were you a big Michael Jackson fan?
My mum... I remember, God, when I was growing up, my mum loved Michael Jackson. Well, everyone loved Michael Jackson. That's the part.
I don't think...
Not many people disliked... Everyone... He was so big, everyone liked some of his songs, if not all of them, didn't they? But yeah, I watched it, and like you touched
Okay,
on,
so
James.
so before this documentary now, like we said before, this whole thing about Michael Jackson potentially abusing young kids.
Yeah, I was mindful of that.
All that you heard before this documentary, would you say that you were in the mindset that he did or didn't, or still undecided going into it?
Well, that's the thing. When the first people came out to accuse Michael Jackson, you had a sense something happened, but you don't know what he did.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're still undecided, and you were still undecided then.
Yeah, like.
But in this documentary, it's a no holds barred that accounts what he did.
I think the strange thing is, we were having this conversation yesterday with my family. I can't imagine, being a father, being a bloke. We're all blokes. Can you, in any circumstance, justify spending a night with a kid who you don't know in your bed?
Indecent proposal.
But no, really, honestly, could
a million times wrong.
Here's $1 million quick, and I sleep with his son.
No, it's true though. But could you though?
So I've not watched it now, so I'm going to ask the questions.
Yeah.
I've got an idea without watching it, but then I suppose I need to watch it to really have a good, form a proper answer to the question.
But as parents yourselves,
but as parents and things I've seen about this and talked to Ratty about it as well and in depth. I mean, so I've formed a kind of an opinion. For you, and I'll ask you both the same question. For you now, after seeing, you've watched what 80% of it, haven't you?
Yeah, I watched the first one, and then
so you probably got the crux of it, haven't you?
Yes, I know what happened now.
So for you now, it's hard to do this, but strip away you as a dad, right, and emotions, getting caught up in the emotion of it all. What did you hear or see that makes you convinced either way?
Well.
If at all it does.
Well, the strange part for me, like I just said, is an adult wanting to spend time with children. There was when the Wade Robson, his family went and they sourced Michael Jackson, which would be a bleeding hard thing to do. We've tried to get older people, James, and it's a nightmare, especially the most famous man in the world. So she was calling 24/7. Yeah. She was ringing everywhere.
But of course, this is before any abuse.
But she was really chasing Michael Jackson.
So that says to you, in terms of a character.
Yeah, she was very pushy.
A character assessment of she would appear to be
a driven woman.
Somebody who would perhaps disregard a child's well-being for the sake of fame and money, or
possibly. But she was clearly trying to engineer a meeting with Michael Jackson, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But the weird thing was, from meeting Michael Jackson, he took them to Neverland, didn't he? The ranch. Within 4 hours, she was agreeing to let Michael Jackson stay in the bed.
But this is according to them.
Yeah, according to them.
So, but I'm saying, what evidence?
Yeah, there's no evidence, and this all circumstantial, isn't it? That's the problem.
This is the worrying thing about it all.
Yeah.
This documentary is so powerful and emotive and graphic.
The parents didn't know this.
No, but this is what the boys were saying. Yeah. So when he stayed in Michael Jackson's bedroom, the parents must have been aware that was happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were aware that within 4 hours of meeting him, he was then staying with Michael Jackson in his bedroom.
Yeah. What the mothers say, because she said, I do feel a bit weird. My son's with a full-grown man in the bedroom, and she said I used to sneak up to the door, then just have a listen.
So what? How did he ask her then? How did he? Did they say how he came about to ask that question?
He sort of befriended them, and he came part of their type of family as such.
Right.
Like she says, she explained he became like an adult child, but another son type of thing. The way he'll hang around with the kids, play. There was one family, they had brothers and sisters, but they weren't involved in any of the alleged incidents. See, so obviously, he had a taste maybe of some sort.
But didn't you find it strange though? In that first meeting, so they went to stay with Michael Jackson, and then
I'm really curious, and I perhaps this is why I probably need to watch it myself. But I'm really curious as to the conversation they had with Michael Jackson and how it was posed and arranged for their child to sleep with him in his bed.
Off the top of my head, I think he said, you can stay the night. And then basically he said, you can stay in your own room or you can stay with me. And the kid's like, yeah, we'll stay with Michael Jackson. Because on the first night, his sister stayed as well. Didn't he?
And that was offered
he probably said
that was offered to all the kids.
Yeah. Well, there was only two, the brother and sister.
That was offered to both kids.
Openly in front of the parents as well. But the weird thing was, Steve, what I found strange, so they stayed that night.
As a kid...
it's Michael Jackson.
But the kid's point of view,
this is what, had full of toys. He had all the latest stuff. He had games.
But this is why I'm conscious of the parents, not the kids. I totally get the kids.
It's not the kids'
fucking
fault
Michael
at all.
Jackson. Of course it is.
But what was strange, they were doing a tour of America, so they were traveling around America, and then they went to LA, wasn't it? Was it LA or San Francisco? They went somewhere else. No, the Grand Canyon, wasn't it?
That's not bad.
Right, yeah.
But they were traveling around America anyway. But what they did, Michael Jackson said, your son can stay here. So they left Michael Jackson, their son, with Michael Jackson for a week.
So just the son stayed here.
Just the son, and went on holiday and left him with Michael Jackson. Now, alarm bells had got to ring. Like, if that was a bloke down... Someone raised a good point. If that was a bloke down the pub who just met them, what would they say?
I think this is what makes everything so complicated, isn't it? Because it's Michael Jackson.
He's a superstar.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone knows who he is. So they automatically think, well, he can't do anything wrong. He's in the eyes of the world all the time. So in some sense, they think if he's going to do anything bad... he's fucked.
Yeah, but Steve,
fucked.
if it was just a bloke in a pub, like straight away, you'd just say no, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because he's not famous.
No, exactly, and that's the point, isn't it? Like all sense of parental
I'm the dad. Say like
after a few punch, you never know.
Let's say right. I'm a huge film fan, like as you guys are. All right, I go to say I don't know John Carpenter, right? Who's my fucking idol, right? Love his films, and he takes a liking to Caden, which goes above like high fives and a fight or whatever, you know. Yeah, and it goes to like the level of fucking...
You were playing as John Carpenter with like a child mind?
No, that's what I'm saying. But let's say, because clearly the parents had an infatuation with Michael Jackson too.
I think that was the point.
So I think it's more important to state.
Well, in some sense, they probably grew up with him.
Yeah, but exactly. So let's say Caden liked John Carpenter as well, right?
So
even though
they sort of knew him before they knew him.
Yeah. But let's say he liked John Carpenter. I'm fucking obsessed with John Carpenter, and John Carpenter takes a liking to Caden. Yeah, and he's a cool kid. Yeah, and he'd bring him on set, and we could do this. And then he goes to, stay over, Caden. Do you want to stay in my room? No.
Yeah, straight away.
Fuck your films, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening because. How you feel about somebody, and I get infatuations, and I get being lulled by something, but how you feel as a parent, and this doesn't work for all parents. We discussed that. Abducted in plain sight is a good example of fucking parents who get it totally wrong. You just alarm bells would be ringing. So it's not. So there's a lot of issues here, and I think one of the big issues is my phone going off in a podcast. Is obviously. It's the parents and how they conducted themselves and how they totally disregarded. It's okay for the kid to be all bewildered and, this is amazing. Yeah, and as a parent, you should be on your guard to go, right, this is really cool. Fucking hell, Michael Jackson, wow, this is amazing. Wow, Neverland, blah, 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 blah. Right, okay, this is great. They're having fun, but I've got my eyes on everything. Yeah. And I just think... Maybe it is easy for us to say. Maybe maybe being bewildered by it all. We could have took your eyes off the ball for a period of time. But I'm sure if it got to that levels of staying in a room with effectively a strange male, you would say, "Fuck you, that's not happening."
The fathers, they did feel something was weird, and they did feel it, but because the mother and all, he seemed to be less powerless to do who because like she's looking after the kids and he's fine and the husband would go, I'm not coming out to you, Neverland. It just destroyed marriage. One guy killed himself.
Yeah, the one that does.
He had developed bipolar.
One of the dads of the two boys.
He struggled with mental health issues, didn't he? And obviously not seeing your kids is probably going to affect that, isn't it?
And
so the mum stopped him from...
Yeah, to save the marriage and stuff like that, she went up the left.
Yeah, she went to live in LA, wasn't it?
And
But the
She had
issues
other
weren't
two
to do with
kids. She
Michael
had
Jackson and the abuse. It was something totally
No,
separate.
I think what happened. Yeah, he obviously had mental health issues, but I think in a way he probably felt a bit pushed out because Michael Jackson was
Took a big
like
part
a
of it.
father figure to the guy.
Yeah.
But what we're neglecting to mention as well, Michael Jackson did say he would be very good for the guy's career, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was promising
the kids
for
now.
both of them. So
Yeah.
he said he was going to help Wade Robson.
Good.
Which he did because he met Britney Spears in NSYNC and become a choreographer, and the other guy was a director, wasn't he?
film director,
Coincidentally,
yeah.
and he went on. So someone like imagine having Michael Jackson
Oh,
as
you're fucking.
you're sorted.
The doors would open. Yeah,
well, they
yeah,
would,
absolutely.
'cause
Yeah,
people
yeah,
would love.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Michael Jackson,
like,
wasn't it?
they weren't lying the amount of time they spent with him.
No.
Because there's a lot of video evidence of that, and plus phone evidence where he used to ring
But
up
Michael
for hours.
Jackson seemed to have a lot of friends of that age, a lot of acquaintances, a lot of child celebrity friends too.
Which was interesting, to
So-
your point, James, because
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin and Corey Feldman have
Yeah.
said nothing untoward ever happened. And Corey Feldman, he's the one who
Corey
went out
Feldman,
and
who-
outed loads of paedophiles.
No, Corey.
Rings,
Yeah, well,
isn't
that's an interesting one because Corey Feldman is, you could arguably, he's a guy who's a bit warped, which you could say due to his kind of life that he had as a child, being abused. Now, if you're abused as a child, surely then you become hypersensitive to abusers
Yeah.
and people who are being abused. So does that carry any weight then?
And he was very good friends with Michael Jackson.
And he spent a lot of time with him, didn't he? And Macaulay
so
Culkin.
does that carry any weight
Well,
then
it's an
in the
interesting one.
favour of Michael Jackson?
Well, it does really, doesn't it? Because Corey Feldman, if he's gone out publicly and said there's paedophile rings operating
Yeah.
in remember about 2 years ago he was saying he feared for his life, didn't he? Because he was out
That's
in
right,
these
yeah.
Yeah,
paedophiles.
because he had to have armed guards with him all
Yeah.
the time.
No,
innit?
I got my, he's a bit like that. I'm a bit like that with him because I really do believe something's happened to him.
Yeah.
But then he does do this, but I'm not going to tell you. Oh, I might tell you, but I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, come on, mate. You know, this is
Yeah.
serious
Just
shit.
say
Like,
it, yeah.
just fucking say
But
it.
maybe it might
I
be.
mean,
some-
Harvey
it might-
Weinstein is a huge, powerful person. Now, if enough people put him under the limelight, and now he's being done for it. Well, he's going for the motions of, and those people are protected somewhat. I think the best thing to do is put it in the public eye.
Well, yeah.
Because if something happens to you,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
clearly people know why.
And
So,
you're
but-
just preventing.
Yeah.
But what's interesting?
But that's interesting though, because that's see. Now let's okay, right. So within regards to the documentary now, other than the kids, now grown men who were abused and their parents, was anybody else speaking with them against Michael Jackson?
Only the
families, wasn't
their families. There's no maids or bodyguards or other people in question.
Could they bring upon anybody, though?
It was just purely based on
families, wasn't it?
these two people's families and their time and experience.
Because I can imagine Michael Jackson. See, if you're a paedophile and you want to fuck kids, right? I like to think it's like one man doing that, not a big team. Michael Jackson was a big team. How many people will Michael Jackson have around him at any one time?
It's true.
Now,
Entourage was immense.
but that's what I'm saying. Now, how do they explain that then in terms of...
They didn't talk about that much, did they? Steve?
No, they don't. If anything, where he looked like when he was in the house, he had all like maids and all that. But he seemed to have freedom.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true, actually,
When he was
Steve.
in Neverland, he seemed to have freedom.
Michael Jackson did.
Yeah.
Because, like you both just said, presumably Michael Jackson, he would have loads of cooks, cleaners, garden people. Surely someone would have seen something, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, if
Well, the maids and ex-bouncers have claimed, this, but their
Oh, have they?
story's been
quashed.
like chucked out.
It's
type
worth
of thing.
noting, though, he did go to court twice and he was thrown out of court twice.
Any info on that then?
Because they've looked in the backgrounds and obviously they wanted money because they were
See,
financial.
this is my cynical side of my brain. Like, child abuse is clearly fucking like the worst thing in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And if you're a child abuser, you should be fucking strung up, drawn and quartered, and all the rest of it. But that's what makes it so difficult because, particularly when you are very graphic about it, it's so easy to sway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So if you've got somebody there and they're claiming something about somebody and they're crying when I was a child, and they go into graphic detail about what happened to them, because we're like normal human beings, you're going to listen to that and you're going to have a sense of like sympathy. You're going to fuck, that's terrible.
Well,
but and this is very cynical. I've not watched it, and I'm playing devil's advocate. But isn't that a bit of trickery on the documentary's part then?
But
well, they've neglected.
See the best documentaries that I've seen. There's the issue that's at hand. There's like take that the one they had voice recordings, they had signed letters, they had interviews, they had police involved, they had all these people, credible sources coming in as well as the family, and there was a case, there was evidence, there was something there to it. This just sounds like he was 4 hours, and that's the thing, 4 hours.
A bit indulgent, isn't it?
They had video evidence. The kids,
being there and all the rest of it,
same with the phone calls and that. You'll like give video messages saying "I love you," and stuff like that.
But anything which was
tangible,
because if you go back to that abducted in plain sight, there was letters from the man stating that he wanted to be with her. Very clearly over the line, and stated how he really felt about it, like proper pedo. Was anything like that?
No, there was no evidence at all, was there?
Like not in terms of evidence, not what they said or the.
No, there was no evidence at all.
When he asked him if he abused children, you say, "I'll never do that.
Yeah,
it's not in my nature. I'll kill myself if I ever did that." And
Michael Jackson said this.
It was his own words.
But guys. Doesn't
that say then he wouldn't do it then?
Well, Conrad Murray, who was his doctor, the one who actually killed him, so take that, however you want. He come out and said that Michael Jackson was chemically castrated. That's what his doctor said. And he was his personal doctor who would have known.
Yeah, but he wasn't the doctor at the time.
No.
That has happened. So he could have been chemically castrated.
Later, he could have. But you would have thought.
Remember, he was fine and normal back in. I say normal. He was fit and healthy.
In '88, this started.
But they reckon he was apparently. I mean, again, this is all hearsay. Nobody knows if that's the case at all.
You got to blame the doctors and his yes men.
Yeah.
For agreeing with stuff, for allowing him to do stuff.
Well, guys, I've got a bit of a long quote to read out, but it shines a completely different light on the documentary. It's quite long-winded, but I'll do it as brief as I can. So this is from a music executive, Clyde Jenkins.
Right.
Right. So he put a tweet out. Wade Robson, you should be ashamed of yourself. You and your family befriended the biggest star in the world. I personally recall your mum calling MJJ Music with a sob story about you needing money, knowing that Michael Jackson loved her and your entire family would do anything to help. Michael especially loved your son because he dreamed of being a dancer and took you around Australia impersonating who? Michael Jackson. Your family moved to the States, leaving your father behind, and Michael gave you a record deal as part of a rap duo named QUO. It failed. Michael Jackson set you up with his niece Brandy, and you guys were together for several years until you cheated with another woman several times. She left you. You still remained in the Jackson circle. Why? Because it opened doors for you, and being associated with Michael Jackson and his family helped you. This association with Michael Jackson afforded you...
That's also a bit weird. Even if he did wrong to Michael Jackson still... cared about him.
Well, wait, there it goes on, Steve.
It's weird,
is there something to hide there?
Yeah.
You know?
Go on, read.
The association with Michael Jackson afforded you the opportunity to befriend such stars as Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. And what did you do? You started working with Justin as a choreographer and then slept with his girlfriend Britney Spears, who was fired. Justin then wrote a song, "Cry Me a River," about you, and you still call Justin your friend. You used the association with Michael Jackson to befriend Priest and Mate. And what did you do? You slept with her. Some friend you are. Your association with Michael Jackson to get yourself a gig on TV dance show. That's the dance show I told you about. Word gets around about your previous disregard and loyalty towards high-profile celebrities. And what happened? You get cut from the show. Michael Jackson plans his This Is It tour. and you beg him to be the choreographer of the show. Michael chose someone else, and what did you do? Now the web lies are catching up with you, and you were named Hollywood damaged goods. You turn on the one man who looked out for you and your family your entire life and made up child abuse, molestation claims that you emphatically stated.
So this is a definite quote.
This is a definite quote from someone from.
So I reckon there would be a never documentary
on the other side.
Yeah. Where you'll have people talking about Wade Robson and. Talking about, like you said,
I've seen a lot of
Facebook
statuses about this, right? And there's a lot of anger about people who are questioning the story. And what they're saying is, how can you question this story? A grown man laying in bed with a child is wrong. That is wrong. There's no reason for it. But the question is, did it happen?
Well,
so I think people are only
Jackson has admitted he has slept with kids in his room.
He has slept with kids in his room. What kids were they?
And that's his words.
Okay,
he said that himself.
And those kids were
fine. That was on the Bashir interview. That was man Bashir. I think he interviewed him in.
See, I don't.
Because he asked him a question.
Yeah.
No, but and I said yes.
See, that is wrong. I don't think you should be doing that.
But he claimed, but he didn't sleep on the bed with him. He slept on the floor.
So it's like a sleepover in his room, and I can imagine his room. Like it's not like our bedroom. It's the whole house.
That's it.
So there is space there.
Games rooms. He had all the latest toys.
I think that's another thing as well. Like, I suppose then you've got to think of it in the terms of that. Like his house in his bedroom is probably like a normal bedroom. It's probably got a fucking pool in there. It's probably got an arcade in there.
But the other thing that he had fitted in this room was
these little alarms, wasn't it?
Yeah, alarms.
This is truthful now, is it?
Yeah. You'd have his floorboards rigged.
Like sensors or something, really,
like playing bells. So in Michael Jackson's room, if you hear bells, someone's approaching.
Okay, and the reasons for that was?
So give him time to sort of get himself dressed. Maybe, but he did say, so
they're connecting now with child abuse or like a child trying to escape or something?
They're just saying that's what he had.
Quirky.
That's why he had.
No, it was like a notice. It's like if someone creeped up to his room.
Yeah, so basically to show that he was just a quirky guy.
Yeah. Well, he's a child.
No.
He's a man child.
Wait there, what do you mean? No, he had like an alarm system, so it was.
No, I know, but the purpose of is if he's in his room, he can hear people come to his room.
Yes,
so what I'm saying is the reason why that was told was just to have like an example of how strange and peculiar the Michael Jackson was.
Or maybe why he never got caught. Giving a bit of credence to their story, so people would probably say, "Why didn't you get caught? Why didn't you get caught?" But he did say as well, Steve, that they used to rehearse getting dressed really quick, didn't they?
Yeah.
Who said this?
I think it was Wade or was it James? One of the two boys.
So things that they've said, because what the thing is, what I'm trying to find out is this, right? Is these two lads obviously painting a picture of Michael Jackson as a monster who done terrible things? Is anything that they're saying, does that corroborate with anything else?
I wouldn't say monster. They still have affection for him. They live
yeah, but what he did was monstrous. What he did was bang on order. Is anything that they're saying about Michael Jackson that anybody else, like, can you kind of like match it and kind of corroborate it with anything else?
Not really.
Well, they both said the same things about Michael Jackson. What he did. But
anybody else outside of this documentary,
the thing, he said the same thing. The ex-cancer patient who got the acquitted phone with this Wade Robson helped Michael Jackson get off the case, and he also says, you even said like into it, he likes getting his nipples played, and it's like, that's quite a specific thing to say.
But then again,
another accused, but you saw, like when Jordan thing, I didn't know what Michael supposedly done. We just told you sexually abused. What could that be? That could be from anything.
But that's down to the media,
from
isn't
touching.
Yeah, and then also the cocaine. But again, that was a court case as well. So I suppose things would be confidential.
Yeah.
But those details like that is graphic and is very disturbing. But is it credible?
Yeah, because if these people are so calculating, what would stop them talking to each other prior and just saying, right,
Yeah.
let's agree this, and this?
Yeah.
'Cause if you're going to win hundreds of millions of pounds, and if we are assuming, like, we're not assuming anything, but
Yeah.
if they are really manipulative,
Because whilst he was alive, right, he had allegations against him, didn't he? And he apparently paid them off.
Yeah, he paid off the one family because basically, and even the lawyers said this: you're not going to be able to afford to fight this case.
yeah,
Who said that?
Michael Jackson's lawyers
Said to
and there's
Michael
about
Jackson.
12 of them.
Or said to...
He said this Chandler's father.
And there's a quote of him saying to them,
Yeah.
it's pointless fighting us.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
and they
pointless
did
fighting
say,
them, but-
in America, that's quite common though.
Yeah. he paid
But they
off.
do say when they pay him out, they make it clear this is not an admission of guilt. It's just numerical. It's just a financial thing. So they say it's going to cost more to keep dragging this through court. So we're going to settle out of court. A lot of companies do it. Councils do it. It's not an admission of guilt.
I just think with that, and we've discussed this, haven't we, right? Like, if that was my child that was raped...
Yeah, but the mother in the documentary says that.
Yeah, she
What
did something.
what family
would take the
would
money.
take the money?
Yeah, it's
As
ridiculous.
like she said in her own words.
See,
I
so-
would die
because those cases where money was taken, I don't question Michael Jackson for giving him the money.
No,
Yeah.
with the second case,
That was acquitted,
that was
is it?
found by jury. Jurors found Michael Jackson not guilty.
So, but that's the thing. So he paid off a family, right? Which would look like an
But it's
admission of
because
guilt,
Michael
wouldn't
had
it?
good
But not in
testimony,
America, though.
No, I know,
Which
I
one
know.
of them was this Wade Robertson.
Yeah. He tested,
you know.
But let's think of that. So there was only two, was it? Two cases. One was paid off. One he was found not guilty.
Yeah,
right.
they're the only two cases who went to court.
So those two cases. So the paying off thing, I got issues with that because as a parent,
Yeah, I wouldn't. So
I don't question Michael Jackson for paying him off as much as I do question the parents for taking the money. For me, that's the biggest fucking flag of just weirdness. You wouldn't take the money. You wouldn't take the money.
That's
though.
what helped Michael Jackson's
But-
case because he
but
would
this
always
is a
maintained
lawyer-
it was about money. So when they took the money, he was
exactly.
like, well, listen,
So
this-
that I would say that is dodgy. If you take the fucking money,
No, you wouldn't,
You're
yeah.
you're living in $1 million house paid because your child got raped. How could you possibly
Yeah,
live
yeah,
yourself? That's
yeah.
fucking dodgy. And I would put money on it that those parents had no case or those parents were after money. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you because
You'd want someone in jail, wouldn't you?
you wouldn't take the money.
But the thing is, though, with the Jordan Chandler, he known Michael Jackson just 4 months, where these other kids known him for years and he's abusing him for years. The 4 months, and the father felt something strongly wrong, and that's why they accused Michael Jackson.
And that's the one where they paid out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't take the money though.
But interestingly, like I said before we started, when it went to court, what people forget is when it goes to court, they've got all the evidence there, and they were found innocent by
But
peers,
in some sense, though,
and it makes you wonder if
but
he's innocent.
if you're innocent and these people are dragging you into a world of shit, why would you want to pay him off?
Well, you could say that the money.
As an innocent man, I think, no, I'm still going to fight you because I'm going to fight my innocence.
Yeah. Well, like what Tom said, the fact that they took the money. So
Yeah, but they offered them money as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was quick to
So
settle it.
you can look and
No, but I'm saying it was quick to settle it with money.
Yeah.
Right, and for him the money's no problem. And I think when you're in that headset of spending, you just like make this problem go away.
Yeah.
So for them, and also with the it would look bad on the parents' part for taking the money. For them, it is a bit dodgy grab because like you would rightly so you would probably want to say, well, actually, like I think it was me, I would go, no, use all the money to fucking clear my name.
Yeah.
But then for Michael Jackson, he might have just gone, money's nothing to me. The kid was a nice kid. Give them a nice life. I want it to be gone.
But the thing is, though, after these court cases, and this is the one argument you can he still carried on doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
With kids, as in like for charity, you know, he still made them feel good about themselves. You know, they loved going to see him, and then they still wish, and they they said nothing bad.
Yeah.
What we're forgetting, though, guys, going back to court, Michael Jackson, and if you're rich and famous, you're on a lose-lose anyway, because if you go to court, people are naturally going to go, well, he only won because he had better lawyers than us, he got more money than us.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, if you pay him off, it doesn't, whatever, even if he wins.
It sounds like Michael Jackson likes to give a lot. No jokes there, please.
No, he did.
No, but he sounds like he likes to give a lot. So that kind of also makes sense. Did he give them money just to go away, say, here's, have a nice life? Like, I think that would make... In Michael Jackson's weird world of Michael Jackson, because I think that's the thing as well. We have to look at these actions through the prism of Michael Jackson and not you or I, because the life Michael Jackson had, right?
Nothing that you'll ever experience.
Like, briefly say that, because you know a bit about it. How bad was his life? I mean, how fucked up? Like, can you understand from his childhood to now, like, how he would have weird thoughts about...
That's it, from the age of 5 of growing up, lived in a small townhouse in Gary, Indiana. And like, this is his father would like, he was a session musician. And he wanted to make, you heard the boys play guitars and all that, so he wanted to form a band. And Michael was 5 at the time, and he seemed like his idols was like Little Richie and James Brown, and he used to mimic James Brown moves all the time. So his dad saw something in there, so he made him train. Where Michael Jackson wanted to go out with his mates
and play.
He wasn't allowed. He was just work. So he didn't have. And then they were doing touring. They were back of vans. And then they were going to other places, doing competitions. That's how they got recognised. Then they got into the limelight. And I think he was 7 at the time when this is when he got Jackson 5 were massive.
7 years old. That's Caden.
7 years old,
just a year younger than Caden.
But
And then from then up until he died, it was just that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So to have a warped sense of reality, to have no childhood, doesn't justify anything because, well, I don't know what he did. Nobody knows the truth. But some of the actions which we're questioning, you could rationalise by the fact that he was a very weird man.
Well, Dad used to abuse him, bully him,
Physically
batter him.
But what he said, he was exposed to sex at a very young age because his brothers were men at this time, weren't they?
Because they were having sex in the back of the van where they were sleeping.
Yeah. And he was exposed to all that.
Then,
and well, he'd probably see
but the brothers would say to him, like, "Oh, get out of the van."
Yeah.
So that was normal then.
But imagine that, you fucking...
he was in an orgy, asleep.
Yeah.
In the back of the van.
Yeah. Kind of living like a rock star,
So,
being a part of a rock star's life.
But
without
a very young
7-year-old
age.
kid.
Yeah.
So his life, this is what I think makes it so difficult because he was so strange and his upbringing and his life was so unique. You could argue the case that he did and also that he didn't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so difficult.
This is the tough
because
one.
when you say, could you justify a grown man staying in a bedroom with a group of kids? Well, no.
Yeah.
You know, most grown men wouldn't want to do it. No. But he was like a Peter Pan kind of guy. Hence Neverland. Yeah. He wanted to have his childhood back.
Yeah, because
in the most elaborate way.
He even wrote a song about his childhood. Like,
have you seen my childhood? Have you seen my childhood?
The song Ben.
Yeah.
Which is about a rat, which he befriended in his house because he was so alone. He didn't have any friends outside to go and play. So he made friends with a rat.
But also going back to his relationship with his dad. I don't go psychoanalysis now, but because he was so poor and so bad, sometimes that can either make you.
That's it. They were poor.
Sometimes that can either make you become your dad and be also a really bad dad, or make you go the total opposite and want to become the best dad ever. So.
Yeah.
That would kind of then answer the question of why he was so close to all these kids and why he was willing to give and show.
He had resentment over his father.
Yeah, but I think
he didn't hide the fact of that either.
Yeah, but I think that answers a lot of questions as well. And don't forget, like, he's got all this money and fame. He can help all these kids.
Yeah.
Come over.
He did, didn't he? I suppose he gave away $350 million.
I think that's what, for me, what makes it so. That's why I want to see the hard evidence from this documentary. That's why I want to see.
But that's the thing they say.
It's not just because I'm not being funny, right? A lot of people will just fall for it. a lot of people just watch and go, fuck, that's really bad, that's graphic, that's really hard to take. Yeah, it's all graphic details about child being raped. That's, of course, that's hard to take. But is it the truth? And I think as parents and uncles, you know, we have to kind of push that to the side and go, right, it's so easy to be hook, line and sinkered with that.
Yeah.
What is it that they're saying that is evidence? What is it that they're saying or shown in that documentary?
Maybe the truth they're saying is that they actually did have time with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hard then, because there's so many other kids who have.
Yeah, but they had proper time.
Yeah, like
with
a long
Michael
time,
Jackson.
didn't they? But like you said, James, I think you made a really good point that after all this, there's been no concrete evidence that's ever really come forward with Michael Jackson, is there? No categoric film, no video, no photo. And
like when Michael Jackson first had this good thing, he was grilled by police, by FBI's, all stuff like that. He had all his body photographed and examined. And he says that when he did the videotape of his plea that he's innocent, he said, "Oh, never heard, kid. I've had police, I've had FBI taking photos of my body. I felt so low and I'm just there for people to see."
But it sounds like, but that's the thing. I think because he's got all this money and fame, it's impossible for him to be a victim of anything.
But like, because with Michael Jackson, right? We all got body defects type of thing. There's like
Have you?
a certain mark, a certain mole.
no, it's true, yeah.
But he never.
They class 20 inches as a defect. So.
But he never mentioned anything like that, like with the pigment, pigment in his skin.
Yeah.
Like he would have said, "Well, yeah, he had just like a black patch still there."
And he seems like a guy who would have
patch.
a lot of possible.
But one thing,
patches.
guys, one thing we haven't touched on, which a lot of people say, was why would these people make it up? But look at that actor. What was his name? Jesse Smollett, the Empire star, who's black.
Well,
Jewish,
unfortunately,
gay.
in this day and age, to be a victim, unfortunately,
that's
gives you a lot of power.
This guy
being blamed to increase his credibility because he didn't think he was on a good salary or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
But then again, if you become a victim of something,
it gives you
People feel sorry for you.
the way we build this up now, our society, is based on, it's not who's the winner, who's the victim. And then you'll rise to the top. I think there's a lot of that at play here. If I'm being cynical, again, I've not watched it.
But this guy, go briefly going back to this story. The guy was attacked, and he claimed the guy beat him up, and they were shouting homophobic, racist slurs, and they put a noose around his neck.
Yeah, and when he was walking around an hour later with a noose around his neck.
But people
preserving the evidence.
People do mental things.
Right.
People do nuts things.
When we went to...
But you didn't say you were racially attacked.
He was in Burger King with a fucking noose around his neck.
With a noose around my neck.
No, we watched a black metal band play, so...
They did
just
chuck
handed
drumsticks.
They chucked nooses.
But people do but this is it's a very difficult one, and I wouldn't say enjoyed it, but it was fascinating to watch, because you're watching it, you're thinking it's either 100% true or these people are bastards. Did you find that, Steve, watching it? You just couldn't really make your mind up?
Time for a new MacBook Pro for the Lad Chat podcast. We're back. So we just talked about Michael Jackson. So going back to it now, I'm interested in Michael Jackson. The parents. And I'm assuming the two boys have no animosity towards Michael Jackson.
No, they claim they loved him. That's it. But if they loved him, why come out? But
there were parts.
But then they feel like, what I think changed their mind is they became parents themselves. And as their children were growing up, they were looking back thinking...
But the thing I don't understand, once you realise you've been raped and abused, therefore you've been tricked.
Yeah.
So how can you possibly then...
That's the mad thing.
But that's the thing.
Even though they'd reached up to adulthood, they knew they knew.
But
they
the
knew
thing
about
is,
sexual
but the
abuse
thing
and-
is how can you have love for somebody who raped you as a child?
Because these people are very good, James,
yeah,
at
no, but I
manipulating you.
understand at the time brainwashing. I understand I understand it possibly going to adult life, right? But the moment you come out against that, that says to me you've woken up from it.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
you've snapped
Because
out,
you've come
yeah.
out. So then once you've come out, you don't look back fondly and go, oh, I still got it. You don't. You go, no, I realise now I was abused and raped
Yeah.
and I was tricked.
Yeah.
Right? And I was used to for this fucking pervert
Well,
to get off on. You don't go, you can't have your cake and eat it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't look back and go, I was raped and abused, but I still love him.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Like there's one
Yeah.
point in the video, the kid had like a little treasure chest and like a gold ring.
Oh, Claire
gold,
said about
gold
those
rings and
rings,
that.
Steve, yeah.
And he said, "Oh, you used to buy me jewelry, and when you give me jewelry, we'll have oral sex." And like he still had the rings which
Yeah,
you
you
give
wouldn't
him.
want to get. You can't
And
want to get rid of
you're
it. Claire
thinking,
said that.
and he's there. This in some sense is just like payment to what he did to me.
You'd
I'm
freaking throw it away, wouldn't
but
you?
Yeah, if you felt scared of how you felt these rings were, they would be gone, destroyed.
Yeah.
You wouldn't keep them as a memory, would you?
Suck his dick.
I remember when I sucked this knob.
Swallowed. Swallowed. You fucking.
Yeah, you get rid of it, you poo
macabre
it.
is that?
I remember the rimming on that one.
But it's true though, isn't it? But one thing that's really interesting.
It
Steve,
sounds to me, sorry Tom, it sounds to me this documentary is highly emotive.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. of
And
course.
without any facts. So that says 4 hours
It's a long-
to
yeah,
talk
it's a
about
long
rimming
documentary.
7-year-olds
Yeah.
and blowjob rings, you know, without any real... Again, I need to watch it, so before anybody starts fucking freaking out, I need to watch it.
When the Wade thing was 14, he said he was taller than Michael Jackson because he had like a growth spurt. He said he was like 5'11", Michael Jackson's 5'10". But at 14, he's still having sexual relations with him, like allegedly having sexual relations with him. And he said Michael tried to penetrate him.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
Didn't he?
And the next day, Michael Jackson asked him, "Have you got your pants? Because I think there's blood on those pants."
Right.
So the kid found the pants and he had blood on it. He says, "Oh, destroy it.
Yeah.
Destroy the evidence," type of thing.
Okay.
But one thing I found interesting,
But
guys.
that's their words.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Michael Jackson can't defend himself.
Yeah, he's not
can't-
here to defend
he's-
himself.
He's dead. And it's, ironically, yesterday is a 10-year anniversary of it. I think June 26th he died. God, that's a good memory.
but talking,
I remember that day. My mate phoned me up. I was in the house watching telly. Mate phoned me up. Michael Jackson's dead. Oh, sure, have you lying in you? No, sexual videos. Sure.
Yeah.
I was on a ferry to
When
France. I remember very
When
well.
I worked next day, won a glove on one hand. Seriously.
Ow.
But,
Had my safety glove on one hand. The one
fa-
just cuts to shred with blood.
the family, they do talk about him fondly, though, don't they? Like, even when
Yeah,
the parents talk about him, it's a
that's it.
fondness.
They taught him it was like another son, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they do, and it's
I
a
don't
weird
get
one.
that.
Like, if it was me,
I don't get
like
it.
Steve said, I'd be going the fucking prick.
Again, if you go
piece of
back to
shit.
that documentary on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Abducted in Plain Sight. At the time, that little girl thought that man was her everything.
Yeah.
Right? She wrote letters back and forth with him, really in love, all the rest of it. What's she like now?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Compare that. She's crying. I know what he did. He's a monster. He abused me. She confronted him then, and obviously, like, he's still alive. Michael Jackson's not. Blah 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 blah. And with that realization becomes the anger. Then,
Yeah.
to still to act like he was a nice guy, but then look, I got all these rings when I sucked his dick, and blood in my pants from him raping me.
That was the worst.
It's like, what the fuck? How can you say those things and still talk about him fondly? You would abuse, that trust which you thought you had, that relationship you thought you had was clearly all a fucking lie, and he was raping you.
And
How can you still talk fondly about the
it's
guy?
true. There was one part which I found that quite telling and quite interesting when he said there were other kids on the scene and how he was jealous.
Yeah,
That was
like,
interesting. He talked about the jealousy. But then if you're in love with someone, I guess you would.
if you genuinely think...
because like you see different kids speaking to Michael Jackson, and they'll have like little whispers in the ears, and like the way they would be thinking, "Oh no, that's what me and Michael used to do." And then they would disappear. Apparently, according to his words.
Yeah.
And you think, because apparently Michael Jackson had a closet inside another closet, a secret room.
I'm coming out.
Yeah.
Again, I need to watch it, but from what I can hear, it just sounds like 4 hours of convincing you.
Well, yeah,
using the most in-depth, very detailed descriptions of sexual abuse with a child.
Yeah.
But it's still using with a burning question: did he or didn't he?
Yeah.
There's nothing conclusive
After watching that, okay, then Steve. After watching that, yay or nay, or maybe.
I reckon it's plausible.
But that's what makes it.
I truly believe it could be plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
And you're saying that because of what? The conviction of which they said it?
Yeah,
The fact, because I mean, yeah.
And because as a fan growing up as a kid, I'd be idolised. I don't know if I'll suck his cock, but
Depends on the ring size.
But then these were young kids, weren't they, at the time, and they were being
But okay,
But
right.
Michael Jackson groomed the whole family, not just them. It's worth saying that. He took them all in. He bought them a house. He gave them money. The mother would talk about how she was taking
as
first class.
parents, your parents would find this is weird.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Like for me, I just can't get past
It's
the
nice
fact.
to have your hospitality, your gratitude, your
First
good,
class flights,
good
isn't it?
host and all that. But
So there's, but
At what
there's,
price, isn't it,
I
Steve?
understand these kids spent most time with Michael Jackson, but there were other kids who were friendly with Michael Jackson,
even
and
their
also
brothers and
parents.
sisters were sleeping with Michael Jackson, but he never had an interest for them. They I'm not sure it was it was Wade's brother and sister. Their memories of Michael Jackson was all good because he never did nothing to them.
Yeah.
But the only thing they're more dishonest about is the mother for splitting up the family, for concentrating on Wade and Michael Jackson's money to help with his career.
This is the thing. Like I've come out.
See,
of it
there's
thinking,
so
like,
many. You question Michael Jackson's sanity, right? Which, like you said, it could go either way. So you could say he did or didn't, because his whole character, his whole life could either build him up to be this crazy guy who wants to relive his childhood, or this crazy guy who wants to fuck kids, right? Also, you got the mother and the parents who have clearly one-track minded, money and fame.
Pushy mothers.
Well, she chased Michael, didn't she?
But again,
that's it. She went out looking for him.
But that's the thing. You got these.
Remember my boy?
So that's the thing, is you got Michael Jackson, who is plausible that he could have gone either way. Then you got the mum, who's it's also plausible that she could either be in this for the money the entire time and coercing this in some way, right? Possibly, or it could be the other way around, and she's generally a mum whose child's being raped. Because she seems to be making decisions which are fucking not normal
questionable,
parents
aren't
would.
they?
So you got Michael Jackson making decisions and doing things which sane
when the
men wouldn't do.
George Tanner case, and she apparently went to her and said to her, "Has Michael Jackson touched you?"
Yeah.
And he said no. And even when he was questioned by police, he said no. And even the police were convinced, because usually you get like
There's signs, aren't there? Yeah.
But the also weird thing is they were all media trained in how to answer questions, how to avoid difficult questions.
Yeah, how to manipulate it.
You know.
So coming out,
There's so many questions. There's so
Coming
many.
out,
Because
no
this
more
man is
wiser.
the stratosphere. He didn't want anyone to know about his life because he was a very private
Yeah.
man.
What do you reckon, Tom?
Well, coming out of it, like I said, I really don't know. I couldn't say. I'm no more clearer. These people could be very calculating.
All right,
very
I've
manipulative.
got a gun to your head, right? Right. I got a gun to
I
your
know
head.
what you're gonna ask.
Yes or no?
Well, that's like his.
No. No, again. This is unfair because it is a difficult one. But all right, gun to your head, yes or no?
Well, that he did it.
Did or didn't do it? Gun to your head.
I wouldn't give a fuck if I said yes or no, would I?
Yes or no?
It's plausible. I can't.
Yes?
I can't dismiss it.
You say yes?
I would lean towards yes, but it was.
But you would again. What decider you are? Yes or no?
Me. I haven't watched it yet.
Put a gun to your
I'm
head.
very cynical though.
Put a gun to your head.
I'm very cynical. From what I've heard, see, for me, it's about what strikes me as more odd. And what strikes me as more odd is the things that these guys are doing in the documentary as an entirety. Again, I've not seen it. I need to watch it. But from what I can guess, this sounds like 4 hours of convincing you by using very in-depth graphic details of child abuse that this man had sexually molested these boys. Now, I understand sometimes it's hard to come up with all the evidence.
And these people are very good at.
But I am very cynical of this.
These child molesters, they are very good at isolating people, breaking up families, like we saw in Abducted in Plain Sight. And
yeah, but again, if you look at I'm
not.
not. That's the thing. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about their actions, the victims' actions.
That's a total different scenario.
I'm thinking about how they're reacting, things that you're telling me about their reactions, and the parents. I'm thinking about that. I'm not thinking about the graphic details.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about. Is it possible they could have been brainwashed? Of course it is. All those things about it. Those details are fucking horrific. Of course they're horrific, and they're fucking wrong.
They've seen comfortable living, don't they? You know, they don't. They're not like in shanty houses or.
Well, he's clearly helped them a lot, haven't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you give
but again, and that's another thing as well. Where's the guilt? Think about it. If I'm living a nice lifestyle. And I found out it was all because my son was being fucking raped.
Yeah.
I would be in turmoil over that. I wouldn't be sitting all glammed up in front of a fucking camera. I would be inconsolably distraught over it.
Would you do a documentary and
would I I would have so much fucking shame about it all. I think this is the thing. I think perhaps maybe I'm cynical, but I don't believe this sounds like a bunch of fucking shit.
Well, you watch it.
I will watch it.
James, watch it.
I think, okay, right, yeah, I've not watched it, and I just think about me in that position, and it's easy being in here and not over there,
objectively,
right?
Yes,
exactly. But there's fundamentals.
This is the 80s when everything started.
Show the pad on that.
The 80s.
I love the 80s. But the fundamentals of it, like the basics reactions to these things, cut through all of that, surely. No, when it comes to your child being raped, all those little sideline things, it doesn't mean anything because your child's been fucking raped.
Yeah. And like you said, could you sit in the house?
But these parents can confront him.
Even those gullible twats. I know I keep comparing it to fucking Abducted in Plain Sight. But even those gullible parents, there was a time early on where they realised he was wrong. And they tried, feebly though, and they made some stupid decisions, but they were aware of it at the very least. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I just think, I don't know.
Your parental instinct would kick
in. Look at the Waco and that David, you shagging the husbands' wives and stuff like that in plain sight.
But at some point, your parental detector would go off, wouldn't he? Your spidey sense kick off. And even after he was taken to court twice, you would start thinking, well, maybe you probably ain't.
But then the way you son, but then I'm sure.
But the thing is, you turned up to the court. There's one incident of the day he didn't turn up, so the judge said no, he's got to be here. So they got Michael Jackson. He was in his pajamas when he arrived to court.
But that's the thing as well. We've discussed the two other accounts where he's been accused and gone to court. One, he paid him off, and I questioned the parents taking it. Because I think he's a massive cash cow, Michael Jackson. And also then the other time he got thrown out of court. So that doesn't look good if you're trying to accuse him of these things.
The second one, you were just found innocent.
What I'm saying is their case was like he's innocent.
He had a juror and all 12 jurors.
But he was found innocent, he wasn't found guilty of it.
He had good testimony people, which one was the guy who's accusing him now, Macaulay Culkin giver.
Didn't Corey Feldman go as well?
No, I don't think Corey Feldman. I'm surprised he didn't mention about, but maybe. I suppose you got Corey Feldman to have his say.
Yeah.
See, I just, the thing is with me, I'm all about the facts.
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah.
I'm all about the facts. If you show me 4 hours of people saying something horrifically happened to them and it's very detailed and graphic and very upsetting, yes, I feel moved by that and think, fuck, if that happened. But if you say to me, did it happen? Well, no, because I can't say it did. Like, if I was a juror, if I was a judge and that was the evidence brought to me, I'm sorry, there's no evidence. It's a very compelling statement in terms of it's very upsetting and very hard to listen to. But other than what you're saying, there's no grounds to believe you. There's no evidence
true,
there.
Yeah.
Where's the evidence?
And people do lie. People do lie. People do make up fantastical and amazing stories.
Well, again, with Michael Jackson, but that's the thing about Michael Jackson as well. This is what I said before. Him as a human being in his unique life. His unique life. I at the same time, if a new case come out with evidence to say that he did and it was valid, again, I would, because of his lifestyle, I would also believe it. But he's such a weird fucking character.
They're about zooming his body. I can't.
For what purposes?
That's it. They've had his body's had photographs taken when he was alive.
It's all there.
So they
just use that.
They got that. Just like he had a mole on the tip of his foreskin. Oh yeah, he did have. You circumcised, motherfucker. You didn't have a foreskin.
But that's the thing. I mean, you could say that about like somebody you sleep with, about unique marks here and there or whatever else. You could do that. So if he's constantly blowing him off and fucking him,
if he had any,
that guy's got patches. I guarantee he's got a patch like fucking like Mickey Mouse somewhere on his body,
he
right?
Had that skin condition, so
of course he can have it.
But right, anyway.
So Tom, what did you say? You said yes. You reckon he did it?
I said
yes or no. Come on, Tom.
Yeah, it's 51% to 49%, and yes, I think he probably did.
You think he did do it?
I think I'm leaning more towards. I just think I can't get my head round the fact that he wanted to be surrounded by children. He wanted to spend the night with children. He wanted.
I can because he's been open about it, and I think, I think based on, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying I can understand it, right? Yes. But this is why I think also you could possibly say he did because you're so fucked up, and this is why I think he's. This is why I think he's an easy target.
Many people who love him and like him, they'll believe anything he'll say,
and maybe.
Yeah,
playing devil's advocate, maybe he liked the innocence of children, the fact that they liked him for him, not the star, didn't they?
But this is
probably one of the biggest
but again, this is it's so complex though with a man like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, because when
if you say to me, or you got like 5 kids up in your bedroom. Oh, I just like the innocence of kids. That's fucking dodgy, right? But if you're Michael Jackson, you've never had a childhood your entire life, this weird fucking roller coaster ride of a life, and under the pressures of stardom to the degree that he did, all that money and power, and like you said, constantly surrounded by adults all the time. People, yes,
and
push you this. There's a deal. Do this, do that. Films, music videos, albums, interviews, like. It's fucking mental.
But that's the thing. You when he did like promotion and stuff and all that, the people who were accused of him, they'll be tagging along with him, and he was happy to pose for photos. He wasn't like trying to hide the fact that he was with them. He was very open.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like he didn't seem to want to hide anything.
They said, what did he say? Used to hold hands, and he did used to hold hands as a kid, and they said used to give like little signals like where he's like holding hands, you'll like rub across a palm, which means like he's thinking about you type of thing.
Sexually.
All right.
But the one thing about kids,
they said that. Oh, that's
what the kids said.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
But it's worth noting as well, guys, that with kids don't want anything from you by your time. Kids don't want money off you. Kids don't.
It's true.
It's like Alfie. He don't want money off me. He doesn't want anything other than to spend time with me.
That's it. So they just he's got all the toys and all that. They weren't thinking like, oh, what can he get for me?
Yeah, they're not going to think, oh, if I cheat, this will give me £1 million. Alfie don't know anything about money. I gave Alfie a tenner the other day. Do you know what he done? Threw it in the bin. I was in that bin. I was like, "That's my tenner." But it's true. Kids don't want anything other than
he's such a complicated character.
What about you then, James?
I'd say I'm not convinced. I say there's nothing solid there, but I've not watched it. So it's hard to. I need to watch it first.
Right then.
But it's a good, compelling documentary.
Yeah, it sounds
worth watching.
It sounds very compelling. For fucking 4 hours.
It gets people talking. It gets.
But that's the thing, we'll never conclude on it.
No,
Because of the type of character that he was as well, which makes it so difficult. But unless another case comes out, absolutely.
Like video footage.
But you can't...
At the moment, people are finding him more compared because, like, radio shouldn't have stopped playing his music.
Yeah.
Because everybody's too afraid...
Sales of music is...
See, I think the right attitude should be, we don't know by this documentary.
Yeah. No, we don't, yeah.
Like,
because I think everybody's afraid to go... Like, I don't think you should say no, like hardcore, no, that's bollocks, even though I just kind of said it. But I think it should be a case of, I feel for him, but you need evidence. If you're going to go down for doing something really bad, like child rape, murder, whatever, there needs to be some substantial evidence. Because if you're in the dock and some woman's crying, describing in-depth, detailed lies about what you did to her, and you're going to go down, should we just take that as face value, as evidence, or should we, right, as like correct-minded, thinking, logical human beings, dissect the story in order to get to the truth, or should we just go, oh, she's in a lot of pain, she's hurting there, mate, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go to fucking prison.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know, there's got to be an element of logical thinking. And I think with this documentary, I need to watch it, it sounds as though it's purely emotive.
Yeah.
Purely emotive. And on the subject matter which they're discussing, understandably, a lot of people are going to watch and go, fucking, I'm not listening to Michael Jackson again. And I think about that. I'm not doing anything Michael Jackson ever again. Fuck it, gone. No way, not happening.
Well, when the second time you went to court in 2005... with the other boy, I was in that mode. Like, if he's found guilty, my Michael Jackson stuff's gone.
But I think if he's found guilty, I think if something conclusive comes out that he was guilty, absolutely, I think there should be a question. Should plays music, you know.
You just got to be mindful of the cameras.
Because you're funding.
Are they going to go with it?
Yeah, probably.
Because you're funding a paedophile, basically.
But it's like the Jeepy Creepers fucking films.
Yeah.
I love 1 and 2, and now he's a fucking pedo. Anyway, let us know what you think about that, guys.
Yeah,
get in touch.
Do watch it, make your own minds up, and we'll
LightChatPodcast@yahoo.com, LightChat Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, and all the other ones. Get in touch. Goodbye.